All right, Fraser. Here's your beans roasting away. Beautiful Honduras and the air motion roaster. Now look at that, putting my hands all over the chamber. 700 degrees for the element heat. Beans are at 330. We've been going about 8.5 minutes. Coming up on first crack. Notice the chaff extraction being sucked out of the bean mass while it's roasting. Got our cyclone on, inhaling all the ambient air simultaneous with the chamber. Temperature of the roast 338, we're going to 428. No smoke. It's about 105 degrees. Nothing in that ducting. Move the chamber forward, you can look right down into the beans while they're roasting. A beautiful thing, right? There's the extraction of the chaff, open chamber design. Again, no heat. $720 degrees on the heating element, which is right behind this trap door. No heat. It does have Cropster Artisan connection as well. We're at 1023. It allows for first crack by pushing this button. Gives you the bean development time and starts to record that as well. We're at a 6.6 rate of rise. Shows that in real time. You can actually move the chamber back. Cyclone continues to inhale. Experience the beans. Smell them, see them. Complete industrial design. Chaff collector bucket down there. Pulverizes the chaff into almost dust. Variable frequency drive on the back. Allows you to change the hertz on that motor. You got a full-size cooler for the beans, just like a typical drum roaster. And the redirection of the airflow from the high-powered cyclone pulls those beans air down in 2 minutes. The ambient temp. Elements at 750. 373 on the way to 428. This again is your Honduras roast. So we have our roast happening here. Prime is when it's super cold. You may want to prime it to get the chamber warmed up a little bit. Not necessary out here in Texas. My heating element right now is at 100%. It will trim itself back automatically based upon the profile. Okay, I'm here in the first crack. So I'm going to go ahead and push this guy here. It's going to start the development time recording. My blower, 30%. It also shows up digitally here. You got to obviously watch that because you're going to end up getting lighter beans as the roast continues on. And then the cyclone, which is on. This has water dousing feature. It's actually not a dousing feature. It's actually when it hits the end temp at 428, it'll automatically kick on. There's the nozzle right there. What it does is it floods the top of the chamber, changes the atmospheric condition, cools everything way down real fast. Does not get water on the beans for your typical roaster quench, which is what? To kill all the embers, to increase the weight, which is the norm, right? What do you got? Kill the embers if there's any fire in the drum. Coming out into the cooler with the airflow. You got the weight increase. and then the stopping of the roast. 398, rate of rise 5.5, elements almost 800 degrees inside the roaster. We're crossing over 400 degrees on the bean. We're heading to 428 on this roast. I don't think I'm going to go as dark as what you sent me. That was some serious dark coffee. Woo! Air motion roaster. 3 pieces, chassis. This is a 3 kilo, so it's on wheels. So this guy moves back and forth. 6 and 12 are typically bolted to the floor. You don't have to, but they're typically bolted down. There's your cyclone, and there's your full-size cooler. Now, I don't know any other coffee roaster where you can do this. I'm putting my hand right over the top, touching the chamber with my hands. And yet you got that beautiful, incredible roast. Look at the uniformity of that roast right there. We're at 413, 414, heading to 428. .4 on the rate of rise. Elements at almost 800 still. The machine will trim itself back based upon your profile. Even though it's at 100%, it's backing itself down to match the profile. 421, 422 on the way to 428. Air, we got the water that's about to come on. So the one adjustment you got to pay attention to is obviously the airflow, because as the beans get lighter during the roast, they will lift. It's actually the fun part of it. So there you go, just shut down, roast is complete. You see the air, the water kick on, there it is spraying in. Still no smoke coming out of the exhaust at 330 degrees. We have this set at 20 seconds to kick on. It automatically turns off. There's our roast. The next step would be to put on the screen designed for the machine. Lift up the beans. Get them agitated a little bit. We're going to drop that bean temp down to about 375 before we drop. Heating element is now off, so you can see heating element is down negative 749 rate of rise, meaning it is on its way down. It's at 550 now. Remember, it was about 785. Beans are now at 361. We can drop those guys into the cooler. I'm going to pull this back a little bit. I'm going to redirect my air. Now the air from this overpowered cyclone is now sucking into the cooler. Turn on the agitator arms. Beans are ready to drop. I'm going to pull my microphone out of my... There you go. There's your beautiful Honduras coffee. Pull that lid off. All the beans coming out. There's our chamber. Got a couple of beans left down in there. And there's our beautiful roast. We got all the air out of that cyclone coming right out of this guy here. We're going to cool these beans down in like 2 minutes. Look at that. Look at the blend on that. These beans are almost at ambient temp. Stop the roast between the water and the high power cooler. Let me see you do that with a typical coffee roaster, right? 30 seconds after coming out at 430 degrees, you're not going to do that. founder Julian, the inventor, he's like, let's stop that roast ASAP. Once you get it to where you want it, shut her down. I'm obviously going to send this back to you so you can check it out. Oh, by the way, where's the chaff? There isn't any. So as far as the next roast, you can actually pull this machine back, drop in your next roast into the chamber and get going. So you can roast and cool simultaneous. 428 was the final on that. Temperature's coming down. You want to get that at the level where you're consistent in your next roast. So the machine, you can basically, what you do is you turn this cooler up, which I should have done after the roast was over, but I was too busy talking. And that cools the chamber down. You get it down to about 175 and you're ready to go for the next roast. That normally gets there when you turn that up after the roast is done, simultaneously the dropping. So 2 to 3 minutes there, drop your beans, your chamber's ready, drop your green, and you're off and running. 12 kilo roaster will push out over 100 pounds an hour with no problem. And these beans are completely at ambient temperature. They're actually cold. I'll redirect my air back over the top. I'm actually going to shut the cyclone down because I'm done for the night. The blower, we're going to keep it going to cool the chamber down. Machine will automatically actually turn on the cooler or the blower motor to make sure that the machine is kept in safety mode to not overheat the element. This machine has got a number of very unique safety elements like that in it. Another one is with that water back there, you move the chamber forward, you see it pops up, it says chambers forward, water is disabled. So it overrides the system and does not allow water to come out the nozzles if the chamber is forward for the evident reason of the electronics. These beans are cold. So there you go. Air motion roaster. Looking forward to sending you the final product and hearing the results.